This ewe's looking ragged as hell. I'm not one to usually harp on somebody's style, but this isn't fun or functional. In fact, it's nothing but mats. My only way to gain entry into this coat of armor is to start with the belly, but that's not looking much better. The list of ingredients to create a disaster like this is 18 months of hardship. In that time frame, the owners lost their house, had multiple disasters, lost in the family, and their shear retired. At this point in the day, I'm on my 11th sheep and 3 hours into shearing in the midday Texas sun. Because of mats like this, I've done 11 in the same time I could have done 30, at least. The gaps between the teeth of my shears are large enough to fit my pinky in. I know because I've done it. But even after practicing this exact move on the 6 massively overgrown sheep before this one, I still have a hard time gaining access into the first hip. The way a matted fleece pulls on skin creates these tension wrinkles, so I'm left with no options besides leave it choppy and try to go back. But every sheep has limited patience, so I gotta make sure I keep her comfortable and try to move through this as quick as possible so she can get back to the pasture faster. But my friends, there is nothing fast about shearing an overgrown sheep. Now that I've chewed through the thick matting, I'm gonna exchange my wide-gapped comb for something thinner that I can feel more confident using against the skin. I don't really care how clean she is because I'm coming back in a couple months. I just care about making her more comfortable. For sure, that starts with removing all of these atrocious mats. The way it pulls on her skin can only be equated to a ponytail that's forever tightening. Each mat is like a heavy clump of clay and moves with the same lack of fluidity. In the bottom left corner, you can see in what's left of the wool what looks like a brown line or a break. That's left behind from where 2 mats meet. Every matted sheep has its own matted pattern. That's because it develops to how that specific sheep moves. Simply put, each sheep is its own challenge of unseen complications. We're closing in on the halfway point, but this fleece is pretty difficult to maneuver. And it's pretty disheartening when all of your work can be covered with one move. These tension wrinkles are driving me insane. They're massive. Add in some secret cysts, and we've got a party. Not a lot of time for pimple popping when we're trying to peel the mats to beat the heat. Thankfully, this whole herd has been in pristine condition underneath their felted fleeces. And quite patient, I might add. If we're gonna get this sheep out of the disaster, all people have to participate, and by people I mean me and the sheep. I truly had no idea the condition of these sheep before I arrived. I knew it was over a year's growth, but the felting on this is just out of control. I've handled cases where the animal has 3 years of growth and the matting isn't this severe. This felting makes what is already labeled the hardest job in the world even tougher. It's a straight mental game at this point. Each sheep has taken 3 to 5 times longer than an average sheep. We are already 11 minutes into something that would casually take me 3. But we have to finish today. These sheep live nowhere near me and the Texas heats are rising. She's a really sweet girl, though, and she seems to be pretty grateful, otherwise she would definitely be trying to skedaddle. But every day comes to an end, even the hard ones, and this girl is feeling brand new.